Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erin and I do mostly budgeting videos like the one you are about to see here. Thank each and every one of you for tuning in and spending some of your time with me by watching this video. I am going to do a new weekly installment, which will be a Monday check-in, and it's not going to take the place of my paycheck budgeting or my monthly budgeting or anything like that. It's just going to be kind of a roundup, maybe thinking about what happened last week and what's coming in the following week. So this is going to be I guess the first week of June, 1 week in, and that's how I'm going to be doing it. And the reason why I decided to do that is because I had all this information out and I was thinking about some things ahead of time because there are some things that I need to take care of this week financially. So this is my budget planner. This is a happy planner. It is the watercolors version from last year. It was an 18-month planner purchase, and the cover is by Tool and the design is called Brilliant. So I'm going to turn the page and we're going to flip to June, and this is my monthly budget. And I've been working with this a bit too, just to kind of plug in some additional numbers and information. I want to keep this as much of a working document as possible. So throughout the month, this is going to constantly evolve and include more financial information. I'm going to start here with my side income. These are some things that people have really had the most questions about, and I have two going at the moment. And the first one, the original one that I started doing, is Grubhub, and the second one is Instacart. Because of some other obligations and being just a little bit extra busy this past week, I know that what we have coming in for this coming week on the 10th and 11th is going to be less than usual. Because of that, I've decided to take whatever money comes in from this and put it toward the taxes. All right, so let's add up how much, and just to make sure that it all comes out evenly. So the first payday was 1,335,78, and the second one was 669,89, and then we get into June. So 1949 plus 116084, 3186 even. I subtract 25%. That means I have to come up with $796.50 to cover taxes, since they have not been withheld yet. So that is a common question that I get for Grubhub and alternately Instacart too. People have been asking, do they automatically take taxes out before they pay you? And the answer is no. It is considered, kind of like the same situation if you're working for yourself. So you do need to be mindful of that. And if you are considering doing something like this, you do need to plan. And my best advice is plan from day one, from the very first pay that you get, to subtract enough taxes to cover you come tax time the following year. Go at, let's say, 3186 minus 20%. That would mean I would have to come up with $637. I think it's going to be somewhere between 20 and 25%, but I also have a regular job, so I'm not sure if my income in its totality is going to affect the percentage that I need to take out or not. So what I've decided to do is send an email to our accountant, the person who does our taxes, CPA, and I'm going to give her some of this information and let her know what we've been doing and what my income, how it's changing and things like that. And I'm going to ask her what her advice is. So that is one thing that I need to do for this coming week. So this is going to be my weekly check-in, and like I said, I'm going to reserve Mondays for this. And the first thing that I'm going to need to do is email CPA, and then the second thing that I'm going to need to do is withhold side income taxes. And I don't want to let it go past this week, because if I do, I'm just going to be too far behind, and I feel like I will never catch up. The thing is, I wanted to also talk about where I'm at with sinking funds, because I did create a little section in my monthly spread right here, as you can see, where I was going to populate these every Monday as well. So even though I had already done a video on stuffing sinking funds for the week, I thought this is a check-in. This is a time to, you know, get all the information together, see where I'm at with things. And it's also a good time to plug in these figures here and just, you know, see where I'm at compared to last week at this time. Start with the first one that's listed, and that's Christmas. So I'm going to take out the money, and then the total here is 500. So I'm going to write that down. Now, if you guys are interested in the stuffing of these, I do these, I've been doing them weekly. I do cash envelopes and I do the sinking funds. So if you want to see that kind of in action, you know, and how that plan is going, and how I come to the decision of how much to add or how much, you know, to save and things like that, I do those every single week. So dogs went from 244 to 245, and if you watch that video, you know why. I just wanted to round that up. I didn't necessarily have a ton that I wanted to put into the dog category this week, so I just decided to round up. So for savings, I have gone to 1040. Okay, and then emergency, I have gone to 1370. I'm sorry, I should be showing this to you guys, just so you have the full picture. So 1370. So I'm gonna add all those up. Last week, 420 plus 244 plus 920 plus 1070 equals 2654. So I'm gonna write that ever so small, since I didn't leave myself any room whatsoever. And this week, 500 plus 245 plus 1040 plus 1370 is 3155. So minus last week, 2654. So I had an increase of $501. That's where I stand with my sinking fund. Other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about in this kind of weekly, I keep wanting to call it a weekly roundup. It's just like a weekly check-in. So I got some more bad news. I don't want to complain too much because it is what it is, but I feel like I need to address this in a separate video because I know a lot of people are being affected in similar ways. I have been furloughed on my job, and that means that I will not be working a 10-day pay period any longer. I believe it will be cut down to at least 9 days, if not more. Nothing is set in stone except the 9 days, and we have heard that there are more furloughs and pay cuts coming. That furlough is going to cause me to have a pay cut. So I am going to have less in my paycheck every 2 weeks, which is unfortunate because with everything going on and, you know, things like that, that's kind of where I got into having to do a side hustle to begin with, because with my husband being laid off and things happening, we weren't making enough money. Third thing I'm going to list here is sinking fund update, and then I'll get back to that. I'm having an increase. I just received an email at the end of last week that my employer or company wants us to also pay more for our health care. Right now, I pay just for myself, and that's because my husband's benefits, even though I used to be on his benefits, they never covered anything that mine didn't, and vice versa. So I dropped him from my healthcare and he dropped me from his healthcare, and it didn't make any difference whatsoever. So he's laid off right now, and there are no changes available to his healthcare. I'm paying for a single plan rather than a family. A family is considered 2 or more people at my employer. We are being asked as of July 1st, not asked, but forced to pay more toward our healthcare. And it equals about $40 a pay. So I was already anticipating to have a reduction of about $300 to $350 a month, and add that on top of it. I mean, I'm almost at, I'm well over $400 down a month at this point. That is going to be until July 2021. I'm not sure what's going to happen after that, and I'm not sure if I'm going to, be affected by a further layoff this fall. There's more talks of that. Well, as of right now, things are really, really up in the air. Because of that, very stressful. So I'm going to have to, keep my eye on things as much as possible and plan as much as possible for the future. And when I say the future, I mean the immediate future. When I am planning out my weeks past this week, I'm really going to have to kick it into high gear and make sure that I am doing these side income jobs basically every free moment that I have. The only thing that's not going to work out for me as far as working a side job is on the 11th. I have a pretty lengthy doctor's appointment that's about an hour away from my house. I'm taking a day off work, a day off of my regular job, because that means I can't work from home, and I'm going to be traveling there. Now, hopefully I won't be there all day, and I'll still be able to do, some delivering and things like that in the evening, and my husband will help me, but we'll see. He still has not gotten paid his unemployment, but when he does, I think what I'm going to be doing with that is getting us by as far as cash envelope and variable expenses every week, because as you can see, if I put aside anything that we make, and I don't think we're going to reach this anticipated amount of $700 this week, but if I put every single penny aside this week for taxes, that doesn't leave us anything for variables. So then I find myself either dipping into sinking funds or dipping into our regular savings in the bank again. Sometimes when you get, a step ahead, you end up also getting 2 steps behind right afterward. But this is a work in progress, and constant fluctuation is happening, so it's going to require constant flexibility. That is my plan. I'm going to be working as much as possible and making as much money as possible, so when these further cuts come to my paycheck, which you have not seen yet and I have not seen yet, I'm anticipating that it might happen around the 19th of this month. If not the 19th, it will absolutely be the very first pay in July, but I want to be as prepared as possible. So this was kind of a depressing weekly check-in, June first weekend, but necessary. Sometimes we're going to have to deal with the cards as they're dealt, but I just wanted to make sure that I'm doing this and being as real as possible. And also, this weekly check-in gives me a chance to explain some things a little bit in more depth to you, which I do enjoy, because I think that kind of helps anyone who's watching understand the bigger picture and what's going on and things like that. If you enjoyed the series or the first installment in the series, please let me know, because I want to make sure that I am doing videos that are helpful to you, that are entertaining for you, and things like that. So I would really love to hear your feedback on what you think about this weekly check-in. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love if you stuck around and did so. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd love if you gave it a big thumbs up, because that really helps my channel. So thank you so much, guys. I hope to see you in my next one. Take care.